So I'm sure most of you guys who are watching this video right now probably know that Wang Miller just signed the AFL's first $2 million deal. Again, it is being reported that he just signed a deal of 2 years with St Kilda. Again, $2 million per year, and just became the long theorized, again, $2 million player. There were a lot of questions on who it was actually going to be in the AFL. And again, I do think Daicos's deal will probably end up being back-ended to the point where it will be like 2 mil. But Wang Miller becomes the first player on $2 million next year. Again, not only do we know that, but we actually recently got a little update that confirmed what Tom De Koning's contract actually might look like. Again, there was a report for a rumored highest paid players in the AFL next year, and what it was actually being said is that Tom De Koning could be actually on $1.8 million in his first year with St Kilda, meaning that St Kilda will have guaranteed the first two, highest paid players in the competition, which is really, really interesting. Again, I think, and I've spoken about this before on the channel, St Kilda are one of those few teams in the AFL outside of maybe Richmond who have that much salary cap that they can actually not only back end players if they want, which, God, that sounds so damn inappropriate when I say it out loud. You guys know what I mean. They're one of the only teams who can actually back end players' contracts, but can actually front end them as well. So again, it is being said that right now, they're going to be front ending a lot of players' contracts, and then whatever they do in the future will probably be, have some back-ended deals. So again, Wang Miller, again, I think his will probably be pretty steady, 2 mil over the next couple of years, and if he re-signs, it will keep going like that. But Tom De Koning, this could be a deal that I think will start off, again, on the 1.8 million, will probably be like 1.7 the next year, 1.6, 1.7 the year after. And then for the next 4 years, you might start to see it dropping every single year by a couple 100,000. And that's just what I think the reality of it potentially could be. Again, I don't think it will drop too much. The lowest it will probably get to is like 1.3 on what his last year will be. Maybe not even that. It might even get to like 1.5, 1.4, especially with the new AFL deal with the TV rights, which will be coming in as his contract is going. So again, that could also be in play. But the thing is, the reason some of you guys are probably watching this video and have tuned in is because there is a reality that St Kilda could actually have the 3 highest paid players in the competition next season. Again, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about there was a massive report only just a week or so ago, actually done by Tim Watson, and it does say they've made a Godfather offer to Harley Reid of $25 million over 12 years. I'm not making this up. This is what I was told yesterday. Again, there was some previous trade news as well, which only happened a couple weeks before that, which also did suggest that St Kilda were going to be a major team interested in Harley Reid. Now again, if you were to ask me personally, I think Harley Reid will end up re-signing with the Eagles again. I'm actually hoping that I am making this video right now and he doesn't re-sign, because if I edit this video, I'm about to drop it and Harley Reid just randomly re-signs, that would be like him just slapping me in the face with his penis, or at least that's what it would feel like. So if Harley Reid, if you're ever watching this video, which I'm sure you have better things to do, like speaking to women, please don't re-sign just yet. But again, there are also reports that West Coast are going to be looking to offer him that Godfather deal as well. It depends. Does Harley Reid want to get back to Victoria? I don't wholeheartedly think so. I think he will actually, grow to really love it in Perth if he doesn't already. But the thing is, like, we heard from a long time that it was going to be Geelong, Hawthorn, Essendon and Richmond were the main 4 favourites. We've really cooled off on Essendon and Richmond and Geelong. You don't even hear anything about them anymore. And what we are hearing is that it will now be out of West Coast, Hawthorn and St Kilda. Because, we've been hearing a lot of St Kilda rumours, which really does make me think that this Tim Watson report of $25 million is absolutely spot on. I think, yeah, there is a world where they can get it done. Again, this is the type of deal that I think will be back-ended. I still think as soon as he starts this deal, he'll, you know, probably be on like $1.3 million or something like that, which would make him like, I think maybe third or fourth highest paid player. Again, if it is the third highest paid player in the game, depending on what Chad Warner's deal is going to be like next year, which is supposed to be pretty good as well. That would mean they have Naz on 2 mil, DeConing on 1.8, Harley Reid on like 1.3. And again, by the time Harley Reid gets to that 12th year, that deal could be looking like $3 million, which is absolutely insane. Like, I'm like, now that I'm saying it out loud, the fact is that Harley Reid could become like the second $2 million man and the first $3 million man in just one signature is low-key crazy as. And I guess that's what West Coast have to compete with now. Maybe it's not about where Harley Reid wants to go. Maybe Harley Reid absolutely loves it in Perth, but he's just getting this Godfather deal from St Kilda, which he might actually have to take. Again, the reality is as well, is that St Kilda, they'll probably end up coming up with the assets. Again, they will have, I think it's like pick 6 at the time making this video. Not that good in this year's draft. They'll have their first round pick. They'll have their next year's first round pick after that. Again, I think this will be the first AFL trade period where you can trade, you know, picks in consecutive years. So that could, you know, be from 2 years from now. So realistically, they could offer up all 3 of those first round picks for Harley Reid, maybe even more. And I mean, West Coast are not going to say no to that. Like in AFL history, you never see teams offer up 3 first round picks. The only time it might have happened was like the Tim Kelly one was awfully close. But we've never ever seen that. It like never ever happens. Again, the fact that St Kilda, if they were interested in him, could offer that deal. I mean, 100% you're going to do it because Harley Reid's a generational talent. And if you're West Coast, it's like, how do you say no to a deal that's going to be one of the first and only ever 3 first round picks? And you're probably going to get something else into that. Again, if I was them, I think they need some leadership. Jack Steele, there was a slight report that he might be looking at his trade options as well. I mean, if you got 3 first round picks and Jack Steele, you would be absolutely laughing. And I think St Kilda would be as well. Imagine that for an off season. Bring back Naz, bring into DeConing, Harley Reid, of course. It would be Lake Aaliyah. Again, we know Lake Aaliyah is coming to the team as well. That deal is supposed to be front-ended. And obviously a massive report that they're interested in Liam Ryan. Again, imagine if they got all 5 of those players. That would be... It'll be generational. It'll be the most generational trade period freaking of all time. But again, this is not NBA 2K. This is just me kind of rambling and having a little bit of fun. I still don't think any of this is going to happen like I mentioned earlier on. I think Harley Reid will absolutely be re-signing with West Coast. I can't see it at this point. I do see St Kilda offering that deal. I think that is happening, and I don't think Tim Watson is really lying about that at all. But I also see a situation where West Coast will just match the deal because they can't let Harley Reid go. Again, the drafting, to me, hasn't been that great. And they haven't had that high of picks, Obviously, Bo Allen was picked 12. Ruben Jimmy, I think, was picked 7. Again, I think Harley Reid's like their only top 3 pick they've had, especially in recent years. They're going to break that this year with pick 1 that they'll have and pick 2 that they're going to get back from the Oscar Allen comp. But you just can't let the pick 1 go. Like, if you do, you're back at square one. The rebuild just will not be heading, I think, that quick. You just can't be letting him go, and they won't. West Coast surely won't. I think they've built a good enough area and environment where Harley Reid looks like he's happy and he'll be remaining a West Coast Eagle. But again, it is fun. It is really fun to think that St Kilda could have the first, second, and third highest paid player in the game just because they're not paying anyone else. Like, outside of them and Lake Aaliyah, who'll be on a bit, I think Cal Wilkie, maybe Max King, Jack Higgins, maybe. There's absolutely no one getting paid. So it is very interesting to think about. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. Could St Kilda have the first, second, and third highest paid players in the game? If so, that would be insane. Let me know how you guys think about this. Again, subscribe to the channel for all those AFL content news. my gaming/movie channel, which will be linked down below, as well as my Instagram. Again, go and check them all out. But yeah, as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.